Hey there YouTube, Purple Marine 81 here. This video is going to be going over something that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and that is going over some of the most popular fire starting materials on the market right now. I'm going to test out a couple different ones that you've probably seen videos done on before. I'm going to take the Esbit stove out, and I'm going to be testing them under dry and wet conditions. You've probably all seen this, wet fire, pretty popular. You may have seen this, Light My Fire's Mayan tinder dust. Also comes in what people call fat wood. This is something that I've seen a few videos on. It's made by Charbroil. It's supposed to be basically the same fire starting material as what the wet fire is, just a lot cheaper. So we're going to be testing that out. Probably seen a lot of this. This is just cotton soaked in Vaseline. And then your run-of-the-mill, supposedly waterproof fire starting sticks. But we're going to take this out, do a control test them all out dry, and then we're going to test them out wet and see which one performs the best.
Alright, this is the half of one of those Coleman fire starting sticks. This is the dry test. We'll see how long it burns. They're not real easy to light, surprisingly. You would think that it being dry, it would be real easy, but we'll see how long it burns, and we'll start it back up. Alright, well, half of one of those sticks lasted about 7 minutes. Not a real big flame, but it did give off some, enough to at least get a fire started with. And now we're going to try it wet. I've been letting this soak in the water as long as that was burning. So let's try to see if we can get that one lit. Well, that wouldn't light at all. You can't really tell, but it just basically soaked up all of the water, almost like how cardboard would. So that's definitely not waterproof like they say it is, by any means. But oh well. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this is the cotton soaked in Vaseline. Let's see how long that burns. I want to just comment real quick. This does give off a lot better flame than what the other fire sticks that we just tried did, by far. But it does give off a lot of smoke from that Vaseline. All right, let's see how much longer it can burn. All right, we're about close to 5 minutes of useful flame out of that. That's about done. And we're going to pull the cotton balls out of the water and see if we can get it started wet. As you can see, I was able to get the cotton balls started wet. It was a little bit hard at first, but once it got going, it took right off. You can see that it's pretty waterproof. Due to the Vaseline, I'm sure that it probably protects that cotton from absorbing any of that water. So looks like that's a pretty good fire starting tinder. You can get pretty wet. You can soak it and still be able to get it going. We'll see how long it burns. Alright, about the same burn time on that, close to 5 minutes. Pretty impressed with that. That works real well, and it's extremely cheap, so that's something to think about as well. Next, we're going to move on to the Charbroil starter packs. Let's start one dry. Alright, as you can see, those things put off quite a bit of flame for as small as they are. So that's something that be very useful in getting your food going, or if you had like some damp tinder or whatever to try to get your fire started. That's a decent amount of flame on there. Let's see how long it lasts. Alright, we're right about 6 minutes that it lasted. Decent amount of time. We're going to go ahead and pull one out of the water and see how that does. Alright, as you can clearly see, it didn't have any trouble. I mean, I'm sure a lot of that is due to the wrapper that covers that. And I didn't take it off there because I wanted to test these as the manufacturer suggests or says that they can be used. I didn't want to alter it or something to make the test, biased or, give one product a disadvantage compared to another. But with that covering on it, it seemed like it was pretty much waterproof. The material itself, I have taken that out and tested to see how waterproof it is. Without that wrapper on there, it does have a little bit of trouble starting up, but not too much. So it is somewhat waterproof if you happen to take the actual white material out of the package and it gets wet. But we'll let this burn out, and we'll move on to the Mayan tinder dust. Alright, now we are going to try the Light My Fire Mayan tinder dust. Let's see how well this burns. Alright, I will have to say it lights really easily. Doesn't take hardly anything to get it going. The only thing I can see so far is I don't really think the burn time on this is going to be real long. I really didn't use like a whole lot, and granted this is only the dust. I have the actual fatwood sticks coming to me. Yeah, as you can see, it's already starting to go out. Lights real easy. Not a real long burn time on the dust. If you had some of the sticks, that'd probably be a different story. Alright, since I got the dust, I couldn't exactly just drop it all in this bowl and try to fish it out. So what I did is I let it sit out here in the rain for a while, and I kind of splashed some more water on it to see if I could get it to soak up some of that water to test it to see how well it would light when it was wet. So let's see if we can get it going. Alright, well, something interesting. I couldn't get it lit. Now this is even with a lighter. I know that they say that this stuff is supposed to be naturally waterproof because of the resin that is impregnated into the wood, but no, not really. At least with this dust, the sticks you might be able to get going, but as far as the dust is concerned, you can't really get this stuff wet. Once it gets water on it, yeah, it kind of soaks it up. So works great when it's dry, but can't get it wet. So there you have that. Now let's move on to the next one. Alright, now we got wet fire here. I'm going to, it says you're supposed to shave off some of it into here. I'll probably shave off like close to half of this block to test it out dry, and then we'll put the other half in the water and let it sit. You're supposed to be able to light this even floating on water. It'll burn, but let's see how it works. Alright, as you can see, I shaved off about half the block there, put the rest in the water. I like to say that light's extremely easy. The flame barely touched it and it took right off. So we'll watch that, see how long that burns, and then we'll pull this cube out and try to light the other half. Alright, well that burnt pretty hot and furious for about 3 minutes on half a cube. So it doesn't really burn real long, but we'll see how it does with the waterproof aspect. Alright, the water didn't seem to phase it one bit. Pulled it out, just kind of shook it off lightly, and there you go. So I would say out of all of these, obviously the wet fire performs the best under damp conditions or even soaked conditions. But all of them, worked well on their own right, except for maybe, the Coleman fire sticks were kind of worthless. But there you go. You can form your own opinions about what you like best and what you think will work for you, and go from there. As for me, I'm probably going to invest in a little bit of money in just buying a decent quantity of these guys. And I've got some the Mayan fatwood coming, so I'll see how the sticks work on those. But so far I kind of like these a little better just because they're small and you don't really seem to have to worry about water at all. They can be fully submerged and still burn pretty good. But there you have it. As always, thanks for watching. Prepper Marine 81 out.